Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And sorry about the lighting here. So Starlight is trying to adjust that. So anyway, I love you all, and I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight is. And bring out your family, your friends. I don't know, do you have a dog? Do you have a dog? Or a cat. Do you want to bring your cat for a walk? I'll tell you what. Let them go. Well, I don't know what kind of cat you have, if it's an inside cat or an outside cat, so I don't know if you want to let your cat out. So anyway, I love you all, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos with your family, your friends. Let me see, a beaver and a woodpecker. Plus, not only you can share my videos with those animals, as you can also check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. All right, thank you all of you who have been there from how long have you been with me? From the beginning. Yes, there's some of you, or at least I know one, that has been there from the beginning and till now. So thank you, and thank you all of you that have recently joined on my my YouTube channel. Plus, thank you for giving me a thumbs up or subscribing to my YouTube channel or leaving me a message down below. And those of you who share my videos, sorry about this background noise. So anyway, today somebody asked me a really good question. Sorry, I gotta wait a little bit. And another one. So the question is, Starlight, how do you stay so positive? You know, because I'll tell you what, Starlight's been having some stuff going on. And don't we all, you know, at times we get some shit going on in our life, you know? So how do you stay so positive when you got shit happening, you know, and in your life, you know, like in New Hampshire, they have a saying out there, it's all over in that area. You go there and shit happens. They even have it on the license plates, you know. You see that all over in that area, is shit happens. And yes, shit does happen to all of us, no matter who you are. Shit does happen. But how do you stay positive when you're going through the storms of life? Pretty much, that's kind of like when everything's crazy, and you know, you might have a lot going on. And I have to tell you, number one, it's not easy. But now, how does Starlight stay positive? I have help. I have help. Some of you have been on my YouTube channel for a while, and I'm not sure what videos you watched or not, but really, my very first video will explain a lot, is because Are You Searching for Guidance was my very first video, and I wanted to really make that for God, the universe, you know, because that was the whole, you know, thing that I was learning, is numbers. You're like, what, Starlight? Numbers help you stay positive? No, it's God, but God uses the archangels, you know, to send me signs, you know, like I might have told some of you, a lot of you that have been here for a long time, about the numbers, and I really can't go into big details on that here, but you know, I gotta believe and trust. It's having that faith, no matter. And I'll tell you what, God will test us all the time, and this is what I've learned on this journey, is sometimes things come easy to Starlight, you know. I might need money for gas, or might need food, you know, where I go out and a closed mouth don't get fed. So you know, if you don't have income coming in, even though I am rich and I am abundant, is you gotta, you know, what are you gonna do? I'm on a mission here with God, a lot of you might be telling me to go to the government for help. No, I have God that can supply them. I don't need to go to the government. And I've had many, quote, Christians, whether they could help me out or not at the time, but a lot of them actually sent me to the government for help. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Where if you have something that you can help somebody else with, is God will bless those people for helping. And in the Bible, it does say, if there's a person that thirsts, give them drink. If they're hungry, give them something to eat. But some Christians forgot all about that. So, you know, God will be the one to sort all that out. Is when you give. If you gave like $1, God's gonna give you back more than $1. So it's all going to come back, and you never know when it's going to come back. So don't worry about when it's going to come back, and it comes back in different ways. So so you got to have faith in God. But numbers, God communicates to us through numbers, and that's how the archangels, they send starlight messages. So I have to have faith, trusting and believing. No, like I was saying, is no matter how crazy, and it's always going to be different, it's never going to be the same. Like when I need food, like I was saying, is I could go up to one person and trust and believe before I go there, that and I pray before I like when I go out, figure out where I want to go to ask for help for food or gasoline or whatever I need, is I pray before I go there. I'm like asking God, please send people there that it's God putting it on their heart to help out. So, and this is what God has done with me. So when God blesses you with stuff, whatever it is, we're supposed to help other people out. Like if God gave you a lot of money and you were able to, take care of your needs that you needed, like say you needed food and somebody gave you $40. Well, part of that is you're going to eat it, eat that, and always save some extra, so then when somebody else needs it, then you can hand that money to them and help other people. So it's about letting go, and God will reward you, because God's like, wow, and so what's amazing on this journey is, like I was saying, is there's times that I will come up to people and amazing, where I might have to just go to one person and get everything that I need by one person. Wow, that was easy, God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And be grateful. You got to be grateful and thank God for, wow, I can actually go get something to eat, because there's no stove for Starlight, no way of cooking. And so, bam, now I can go and get something to eat. But part of that, I got to make sure I remember to give somebody, something from that $20 bill. And depending on, then other times when I go out, I could go, do the same thing, trusting and believing that God is going to, help me out, and God is going to bless me with some food, and God will, is, where I prayed, before I left, asking God, or on my way there, asking God that God would send people to that location that would help me out. There's other times that, things might not happen so quick. But no matter, like in life, no matter what things look like, you still have to keep that faith and believe. That's the test. And this is how it works, is that God will send me messages through the archangels. And that is what happened on about getting my car fixed, which my car got fixed. I got brakes now. It's all paid for. I got the slip, so I can have it for a record of about the brakes being fixed. And you know what it says, that how much I owe? $0. Because you know what? That took some faith. That's about being positive and believing and trusting, no matter how things look, no matter even how the people look. So it's all about getting these signs. And so on my way to, when I went to go drop my vehicle off, I was getting numbers by the archangels, and I'm like, I was walking with my backpack, and heading to the car, believing and trusting that God's going to take care of it. But sometimes we do. We get some thoughts in our head, wonder, like where our ego might put doubt in our mind, and and that is why it's so important that you be careful who you tell people to things to, because they could they're not going to help you out, Starlight. So you do have to be careful when you're going through some hard times, is to be mindful of the people that you communicate with and who you tell, because they could really mess your mind up by getting you to doubt that God's going to even help you out, you know. So I didn't listen to anybody out here. I told people that, hey, God is gonna God's got it. God already took care of my brakes. And people will be like, but they're not fixed yet, Starlight. you know so it's because I've been on this journey. When you get serious and you're willing to let go of things that no longer serve you, God will reward you for everything that you let go of. If God told you quit smoking marijuana, but you don't want to quit smoking marijuana because you enjoy it, well, that's why things kind of get hard, because you're not obeying when God put it on your heart to, hey, yeah, I think I ought to give that up, but you're holding on to it. So then doors don't get opened up to you. But when you're willing to let go of things in your life and you trust God fully, God will open up doors and bless you with the things that you need, and help you. So on my way to go to the car to see what the guy was gonna do, because he's it's funny how this works. We have an ego, and our ego will trip us up a lot of times, or people, like I was saying. And so I was working so hard on being positive, and it's not easy. Is the universe used the archangels to send a man. It was a homeless man that was riding his bike, and he rode his bike past me, and as he was riding his bike ahead of me, he had a number on his back. That was a message from the universe, from God, that the archangels were like there, because I was asking for signs on the way there. Please give me a sign. I'm trusting and believing, but I'm human. There's times that a little bit of doubt here and there, and that's what you got to watch out for, is that no matter what, you got to believe. You can always ask the archangels to help you out, to be positive. Please help me to be positive. Please help me with my thoughts. That's why it's so important that you watch out the kind of people you hang out with, because if you're hanging out with the wrong kind of people and they got negativity, well, you're hanging out with a negative person. It's going to rub off on you, and you're not even going to be aware of how much of effect that they can have on you and your thoughts. So if they're always negative and you're always spending time with a negative person, that's going to rub off on you. And even though you want to bring something in your life, and you desire to have it, and you're like, oh, I know I got to be positive. Well, because you hang out with somebody that's always negative and not always seeing on things on the bright side, is that negativity is going to go in your headspace, and now you're going to, without you even realizing it, you might not trust the process, because you rubbed up against this person, and got some of their aura, and their energy, and your body and your aura, and now you're not trusting it. Now you're letting fear control that. You're not trusting it. So fear is actually kind of running the show. Is that, how am I going to make it if this doesn't get fixed? How am I going to get out of here? I had to trust this, no matter how crazy everything looked, for my car to get fixed. When I went and dropped the car off, the guy was late. I was sitting in my car, and I'm like, wonder where he is. See, now I could think that maybe he's not even going to show up. But no, I had to. I'm like, there's signs or something here. So a vehicle went by, and the number 444 came, because I look up these numbers so much. When I see 444, 3 fours, then I remember all is well, all is well, all is well. Don't worry about it, Starlight, all is well. God's going to take care of it, all is well. Because, I got a message on the way. Let me know that I need to be positive. Okay, I'll be positive. I'm trusting and believing in the process. I'm trusting and believing in the process. God already took care of my brakes. Thank you, God. Thank you for fixing my brakes on my car. Thank you. I'm trusting and believing that God's going to take care of my brakes on my car. It's a lot of work, mental work. That's why it's so important that you protect your energy at all costs. Shaking hands, you want to shake hands? I can transfer you something. Just like COVID. Like if I had COVID, it's no difference. If I had the COVID virus and we shook hands, guess what I just gave you? I gave you the COVID. It's no different than energy exchange. So some people think it's crazy that I put that information out there. You're hanging out with toxicity, toxic people, negative people. You want to be friends with those people. You think that shit isn't going to rub off on you. It's like one bad apple will spoil, one spoiled apple will spoil the whole bunch. One rotten apple will spoil the whole bunch. Just like the virus thing. If I spent time with you and I got the virus, well, I'm going to give you the virus. Now you gotta, I shared that with you. So if I got, like all kinds of crazy ass thoughts going on in my head, maybe I'm depressed and all that stuff, and who knows what's going on in my body, but if I shake your hands, that energy is going to come through and it's going to come to you, and now you're going to be like depressed, and you're not even you're going to just think that's a normal thing. You're not even going to be aware. That's how sneaky this stuff is. You're not even, so it's so important to protect your energy, and meditate. Meditate is how I clear negative energy out. This is what I'm here right now, is to come out in the park I already meditated twice today, but now I'm going to meditate a third time today to clear out energy, because I was around people. If I'm like, in their space where our auras are mixing with each other, well, now I'm affected by their energy. I don't know these people. I don't know what they think. I don't know what they believe. If they're negative about life, and they're not go-getters and all that, they're gonna send that kind of energy towards me. So these are ways that you can help yourself to stay positive when you're manifesting stuff and bringing things into your life. So like I said, I just drove my car, my brakes are fixed. God is gonna bless that man greatly because he was willing. Now I have to say, when I went to drop the car off, the guy was battling. He was battling. He didn't even want to give me eye contact. He's like, there's that lady, He already said he was going to fix my car. He knows that God is going to bless him. But he was struggling inside his mind, about actually doing it, That's money that's coming out of his pocket, but he's got to understand the people that come there and get their cars fixed, guess how they got there? God sent those people to his shop so he can make money. So God could just send lots of people to that shop, so he makes more money and gets more money and gets more money, and God's going to bless that man for helping Starlight out. So it wasn't easy for him to do what he did, but I am so grateful for what God has done. And I had to stay faithful and believe and trust. I had to wait for the whole weekend in order for, I had to go through the whole weekend and being positive the whole weekend, all the way up until Tuesday, to give him a call. And then he told me I could drop it off Wednesday. So I had to be positive from, like, say if it was Friday, all the way through the weekend, through Monday through Tuesday, to get to Wednesday to drop it off. I had to be positive. So I asked the archangels in the universe for help. Please help me to stay positive. Help me with my thoughts. And that's why it's so important to clear out your energy, really to be mindful of the kind of people that you spend time with. so you don't pick up like the virus from people, you know, like their energy, and then you're absorbing it in your body. Just like the COVID, you can't see the virus. Just like these people with toxic energy, that you don't know where these people are going. You know, they could be going in the bar, the casinos. Man, those are some really toxic places, gambling places, very toxic energy. Even churches. Yeah, I mean, imagine that, you know. And even in the Bible it says about protecting. You know, you got to protect yourself, shield yourself, protect yourself. So that is how you stay positive. I needed help. I asked for help. Please help me to be positive. Doing the I ams, affirmations. I am positive. I am positive. I am positive. By doing the I am affirmations every day, you know, and doing I am grateful. You know, I do that. Doing a journal. All these things. Praying for help, asking for help. But the I am affirmations works. That's why I do it. I thought it was a joke too. You know, you think it's a joke. You know, I thought it was a joke too in the beginning. But you know what? No matter what I thought, I just kept on doing the I am affirmations. And as time goes by, as I keep on doing those I am affirmations, it's building me to trust in things and believe in things, and it's building up my confidence. It's helping me to know that I am strong. I am stronger than what I'm going through. And it is not easy. You know, I definitely cried through this. You know, it wasn't easy when that guy already did half the job and I had to return the car the next day, like today. I cried. I was like, God, thank you. I am so grateful for you using that man to help me with my brakes. And I pray, please bless this man greatly for that he's willing to help me out. He didn't know me. He didn't know shit about me. He didn't have to help me. But see, if you didn't check out the video, Do You Believe in Angels? Is that that video is the story of how I even got to that place to even get my car fixed for free. God took care of it, but guess what? I got to work for that. God took care of it, but I got to work for it still. That means I got to do what God tells me to do. And when I obey and I do what I'm supposed to do, you know, I'm going to pay that off. So I got a lot of work to do. That's about going in, and it's about working on myself. It's about protecting my energy. It's about, you know, keeping myself safe, doing, you know, being wise on what I do and what I think and how I treat other people, how I treat myself, how I spend my time. All these things matter. Whether I'm meditating or not. Yeah, I'm supposed to meditate, do exercise, get out and exercise, you know, pray about stuff, ask for help when I need it. That's how this works. You know, it doesn't matter how. I'm not selling my soul. I'm asking for help, and it's God that puts it on the people's hearts and minds to help Starlight out. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. So you got to do all this stuff, you know. You just can't pick and choose what you want to do and think, you know, it's going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Absolutely not. If God says you got to do this, that, and you skip out a couple things, then it's not going to work out, because, you know, God will reward you for the little things you did, but wouldn't you rather have the whole package deal, you know, and get it all taken care of, where God's like, wow, look at, you're actually not worried about your material, you're actually working on your spirituality, you know, by meditating, doing yoga, you're doing your I am affirmations. So Starlight, you're doing such a great job, and you've been steady at doing this, not doing, you know, the same thing every day, doing a routine, you taking good care of your body and being kind to others, being kind to myself, forgiving other people, you know, then God opens up a door and helps me out and blesses me and even gives me a message saying, wow, Starlight, you've been doing really good. Thank you. I know I've been really trying really hard. I actually haven't been trying. I have been working really hard. This has been stressful. But I am grateful that God helped me through it. You know, you can ask the angels, the archangels, or God, whatever you want to do, to ask, help me with my emotions. Help me to be positive. Please give me the strength to get through this day. And it works. but you got to believe and trust. The more you do it, the more your faith will grow. I love you so much. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say, hi, Starlight, by leaving me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos with your family, your friends, a bird and a cat. And you can also check out my playlist and check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So you gotta believe, and if you let doubt get in your head, well, that is where you like, please help me to be positive. Do the I am affirmations. If doubt pops up, pray, please, meditations, like to remove doubt. Ah, there goes your doubt. So you're clearing that stuff out of you. That way now, hey, now I am confident and I believe and trust, so crazy as it is, it works. And my stories here, God wants me to put these stories out so then others will understand that it does work. But you got to do the work to make it work. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and